I want to thank you for taking the time to check out my videos. I'm always looking for new topics, so if you have any to share or any comments, please leave them down below. First, I paid attention to asking the basic questions, inventory. What do you have? Well, I realized early on, inventory. What do you have and where is it? Trust me, especially as people accumulate stuff, and it's stuff they have in storage places in different states. Figure out all that stuff now and don't take anything for granted. Trust me, start looking now and trying to figure out what people have, and more importantly, where is it? Because guess what? When they pass, you're gonna have to figure out where all that stuff is. You probably want to get a healthcare surrogate if you can, which means, what is that? Something that lets them know now to tell you how to handle if their health situation turns to a point where they can't speak for themselves and they may be on a ventilator or on a respirator. Imagine a person who is on life support, they're brain dead. There's two choices. You can pull the plug, or you can let them be on that, let the machine keep them alive, but they'll never be back to who they were again. Well, guess what? A lot of times there are forms, and trust me when I say contact attorneys in your jurisdiction for clarification on this. A lot of times there are surrogates that basically give you the ability to be able to let medical providers know what that person wants done in terms of their situation. When they're in that position, you can't ask them. But that's a good time beforehand when you're talking to them to get those questions. Hey, if you are in a position where you're in a vegetative state where you're brain dead, what you want? Do you want to live like that? And get it in writing so this way you know what's going on. Find out about power of attorneys. Start getting those things together so that if your loved one, especially when they look like they're starting to pivot towards a point where they can't control themselves, that they can designate a particular person, whether it be you or a loved one, who can handle their affairs. You don't want to be trying to figure all this out when they are in a bad shape, because a lot of times what happens, people start getting upset. You get this power of attorney and you got it real close to the time when they started losing their faculties. People start wondering, you're running Slim Shady. It looks like you might be trying to get over, and you don't want to deal with that headache. So start getting those things together ahead of time. Banks, benefits, and burials. Going backwards, burials. Find out if your loved one has any type of life insurance policies, or any type of policies for covering how they're buried. But you want to know ahead of time, well, who's going to pay for it? What can you use to pay for it? Those things are not cheap. And you want to know ahead of time in terms of, do they want to be cremated? Do they want to be buried? Do they want the ashes to go with you? Or do you want to be, put out to sea? Get all those things taken care of. Benefits. Find out what they got coming to them, whether it be state, federal, local, job. Figure out where they're getting this stuff from, so this way you'll know whether this is something that keeps going or that needs to be distributed to other family members once they pass. Banks. But you'd be surprised the number of people who have multiple banks at all kind of different locations. Don't have a heart attack. Find out where all those banks are. Find out whether or not you can get your name on those accounts. Find out from your loved one if are they payable on death benefits. So this way, when they pass, it goes to someone. You want to get all that clarified, because the last thing you want to do is scramble. And check it. Find out if they got a safe deposit box. And if you can, talk to an attorney in advance. If you know you've got I don't care if it's a lot of stuff, big estate or a small one, talk to someone in advance and say, okay, well, if my loved one passes, there may be things that I need to do in court to make sure I resolve all this. What do I need to do? Start asking and looking for someone ahead of time. So this way you're not scrambling, because trust me, when your loved one passes, you're just not in the right mindset to deal with all that right away. So you want to make sure you have all these things addressed ahead of time.